I am making bagels that I'm gonna turn into breakfast sandwiches because bagels are the best thing ever and breakfast sandwiches are the best thing ever. Right now, I am ricing some russet potatoes that I've boiled until they're soft. And ricing them is gonna help them incorporate into my bagel dough. I've reserved 1 cup of the boiling water from the potatoes, and now I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of cool water. I don't want it to be too hot, otherwise it'll kill the yeast. So next I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. That's gonna help the yeast activate. And then I'm gonna add 2 1/4 teaspoons or 1 packet of active dry yeast. And I'll stir this around and I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes until it's foamy on top. Meanwhile, I'll combine my dry ingredients. In the bowl of my stand mixer, I'm gonna add 6 cups of high gluten flour. Add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, which will add nice sweetness to the bagels. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of kosher salt. All right, I'll dump the potatoes right in, and then my yeast mixture, which you can tell is activated because the yeast is fully dissolved and the liquid is bubbly on top. And now a key ingredient for bagels is barley malt. Barley malt is gonna give bagels that signature bagel-y flavor. Okay, now I'm gonna mix this and knead it for about 7 to 10 minutes until I have a smooth, sticky dough. I am so excited for these. I'm gonna gather it into a ball. Now it's important for this dough to rest so that the flavors develop and so the gluten's relax. And so I'm going to let this sit in the refrigerator for 4 to 6 hours, although ideally it's best to let it go overnight. I'm gonna start by cracking 8 eggs into a bowl. My chickens have been busy. Now I'm gonna add some richness by adding 1/2 cup of milk. Some sweet paprika for some smokiness. And then I'm also gonna add some hot sauce for a touch of heat. And then I'll season it with salt and pepper. My egg mixture is looking good. I have my pan here that has been lined with some parchment, and there are little wings on the sides that help me lift out the eggs once they're baked. And I'm gonna add some hash browns to the bottom of it. I love the texture that they add, and I'm gonna season these with salt and pepper. Next, I'm gonna sprinkle the hash browns with some shredded Swiss. It'll make this nice and melty. And now I'll pour in my egg mixture. 400 for about 20 minutes until the egg is set. My dough is rested. And then I'm gonna use my bench scraper to divide it. I am going to first shape them into balls to get them nice and round. And I'm gonna make sure that the seams on the bottom are pinched really, really well. And then to get the hole in the middle, I just take my thumb and I stick it straight down. And I'll use a couple of fingers to make the hole bigger to about 2 inches. I don't like my bagels to have too big of a hole. I like them to be puffy and just really doughy and chewy. All of my bagels are shaped and they've rested for about 15 minutes just to add some more rise to them. And now I'm gonna boil them. I have some boiling water. I'm also gonna add some baking soda to the water, and that's gonna help them brown. And then I'm gonna also add a tablespoon of that barley malt syrup just to drive home that barley flavor. 1 minute on each side is the perfect amount of boiling time. So I have 2 sheet pans here that have been lined with parchment and also greased, because at this point the bagels get really sticky, so it's important to grease them. So the last thing I'm gonna do before I stick these in the oven to bake is I am going to dust them with some flour. I'm gonna make it snow on my bagels. And this is just my decorative preference. You don't have to do this. Now I'm gonna bake my bagels at 450 for about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna rotate them halfway through. And I'll know they're done when they're golden brown. I'm gonna slice my egg into 9 nice squares. These smell so good. To assemble, I'll slice the bagel in half, and I'll top it with a piece of egg, and a slice of cheese, and then a piece of Canadian bacon. I'm so excited about this. How beautiful is that? I have some cute parchment bags here. And I'll place this into a bag.